Today's session is unlocking your potential by stopping one habit. The session is by Chitra Saravanan, and Chitra Saravanan is from KeySpark Technologies, which is a startup company based out of Chennai, which focuses mainly on product design, application development, and consulting, and providing training on soft skills. Okay, so she is an aspiring public speaker who has a strong belief on the quote: "So you don't become what you want; you become what you believe." Believing in you is the key for the success, and this is what she is teaching as part of her soft skill training. And she is doing this for students, graduates, and young professionals. Okay, so this session would be a starting point to start believe in yourself. So thank you for this session, Chitra. So over to you. So it's all yours now.
Yeah, thank you, Ashok, and good day to you all. Well, before diving into our topic, let's take a glimpse of what soft skills are. Okay, soft skills are one of the most demanded and essential competencies for any industry today. So here goes a few points about it, and this is an introduction before diving into our topic. Soft skills are the individual character and abilities to handle any situation or task. Okay, and it is basically not unique to any job or industry. And like other skills, you need to learn, practice, and utilize these skills throughout our life. Okay, and remember, poor soft skill will definitely devalue us. So we need to master soft skills by identifying the gaps and as it is most demanded skill in any industry, they are no longer nice to have skills, but the most essential skills. So moving to today's session or the talk of R, let's think over few facts now. Sometimes our wishes to spend quality time with our family, especially kids, and responding to emails on time, spend time on reading a highly recommended book by your friend, or even plan for a summer vacation, and wishes for maintaining our fitness, and years of buying or making something special for someone that never gets done, right? So these are more of these kind remains as a wish forever. Why? Because we failed to launch. Now take a look to this questionnaire. Was there a time you realized doing less priority jobs during your powerful hours of the day? Have you ever worried of your action in postponing an important task? Or the other type of question, are you conscious that it is only your personal choice to work closer to deadline or sometimes even missing the deadlines? How many of us just get delayed in starting a task or even never tried to do a task? And finally, my question would be, have you ever experienced a moment just rushing towards a deadline to complete a hard job yet successfully? Yes, we all have our stories, our own stories. It's quite human nature, but doesn't mean harmless. Remember, the cards that are never written are never delivered. So, if you agree with me, then you have an important message in this session. Stay connected. In today's session, you will learn why we fail to launch, the biggest enemy that lies within ourselves, the psychology behind giving up, and how to build our success factor, the basic best practices to unlock our true potential. And finally, we have an evaluation section along with a call to action through this meetup. All right. So, first, we will look into why we fail to launch. Here are some major reasons that I have grouped that really makes us to fail in whatever the activities we involve. Literally, we fail to launch. So, let's take a look in detail. The first reason would be fear of failure. I will just have a um, run through uh, for all the factors: fear of failure, fear of success, fear of evaluation, lack of interest, lack of motivation within ourselves, lack of skills that are yet to be enhanced, lack of self control, lack of clarity in what we are doing, and external obstacles that stop us in doing any activity. And some persons or some people will have an addiction to escape from any harder jobs. Okay, though it is a simple one, they have a practice to escape from that in not doing that. Okay, so these are the factors, major factors that make us fail to launch. So the first one is fear of failure. I will give a one line a brief about this few factors. When you have a fear of failure, you will have a question within yourself: what if the goal is not achieved? And the fear of success changes your question to: what if I struggle after getting success? Or what if I can't handle the consequences after success, after getting success? Okay, so most of us believe that success is full of struggle. It is not in that way. The fear of success always points to the consequences we encounter after meeting the success. So the fear of evaluation is a part where you put up your question as: what if I can't handle the feedback upon me? So all these factors have a real question of what if. So those what if questions vary from person to person, personality to personality. And I think the others are self-explanatory. So the ultimate thing is, if you have more what if questions, there are more chances to fail. Remember that keynote. So now let's meet our biggest enemy that lies within ourselves: procrastination. Do you know what happens when a procrastinator has a good idea? He has only the idea. What happens? Do you have any thought upon that question? The answer is nothing. What happens when the same procrastinator has a great plan in doing that? Nothing. So, every idea should be backed up with a great plan along with the execution. So, we find various types of procrastinators, and before getting into that, you just need to match procrastination to your psychology. For example, whenever we procrastinate things, it is our own personal choice, and we know intentionally we are doing that. We are procrastinating by our own choice, personal choice, right? This choice will lead to a gap between your intention and the action. You think you have many good intentions, but that aren't put into action. So the gap comes in, and the procrastination builds the whole area. And this procrastination is different from person to person, because as it is related with the psychology, each and every individual will respond to any situation in a different way. So the first type is the perfectionist. Perfectionists are the person who will have a tagline as "I need to be perfect." So they pay attention to the every minor details, and they are afraid of finishing the job because they expect perfection in everything and anything they do. So the strategy to come over or overcome this type of procrastination is they need to follow superstructure method. Superstructure method is the one which has three components as must have, should have, and nice to have. If they follow these three methods while they are working on any task, they can just set aside the nice to have things and focus on high quality and less time. So the next is dreamer. Dreamer always have an ideal plan. They enjoy making ideal plan but never execute that one. But they are highly creative. In fact, they are afraid to start. any task because they have no clarity on what is to be done. And they need to get clarity on the vision to be uptime. And also they need to focus on the outcome, what actually is needed. So the third type of procrastinator is the avoider. They think it is better to do nothing than making mistakes, right? So they are afraid of making mistakes. They are afraid to fail, so they never do anything. So to overcome this type of procrastination, the avoiders must follow a strategy of being aware that our asset, the time, has been stolen, and they need to focus on the achievements that need to be arrived. Okay, arrived on taking up the task. And the fourth type of procrastinator is the crisis maker. We call them as crisis junkie, and they always push back till the last moment. In fact, they are deliberately doing that, right? Because they can work best under only the pressure. They are afraid to spend time in doing any job because they utilize that time to any other job. So once they complete the job within the time, they rush till the end time and finish that successfully. But still, they don't have a time to review their work. So the strategy would be they need to create a room for reviewing their work and also focus towards the best use of time. And the final procrastinators are the busy bees. They will be always engaged in doing some work, but they lag in prioritizing the task. And because of that, they will become a poor decision maker, and they need to be a good decision maker and follow that strategy and focus on prioritizing works. This is the basic introduction for procrastination, but still we have miles to go to overcome this one. And one note in this slide would be, it is not necessary that you fall either of one category. You can have different personality type based upon the situation or the task. And as you take a closer look of the definition as personal choice and it is intentionally done, and also it is a gap between the intention and action, it is truly based on our mental behavior, right? So we need to definitely look into the psychology behind giving up. In general, people learn their mistakes and reassess themselves and change their approach to certain problems. But in case of procrastination, the damage whichever is being caused as a result of delay does not teach any lesson of the missed time, and it doesn't teach to start earlier the next time. And this can be possible only when you stop procrastination. So the psychology involved here is the procrastination is an emotion management problem. Okay, it is no way related to the time management or self control, but it is an emotion management problem. So I can explain this with an example. Consider if your intention is eating right diet at the right time. Okay, what happens to your action in doing that? It never matches the intention always. Okay, so where you lag, where you give up. If you analyze this one, we actually created a gap between the intention and action. Intention is to eat the right diet at the right time, but the action doesn't match with that. So a gap is created first, and we assume every time we assume our small wrong deeds definitely doesn't have harm. So we tend to do smaller mistakes and follow the same as a routine, and this makes us far from our goal or far from our intention. The third thing is why you created a gap, because you enjoyed or you are acknowledging the short term reliefs or short term rewards. For this example, you are acknowledging some feel good chemicals that is inducing you to eat the wrong diet or at the untime, right? So you are acknowledging the short term rewards rather than considering the long term goal of being healthy. So for this example, the short term reward would be the feel good chemicals, and the long term goal is that is your intention is to maintain a healthier lifestyle. So the real battle is within yourself, and we fail to handle those emotional problems. So finally, we give up before even we start. And because of this, we lose control over ourselves, and the self motivation is getting lagged. So this would be the psychology behind giving up. So how can we overcome that? We need to build our success factor. Success factor are the building blocks to overcome from our procrastination stage, because we need to evaluate our emotional regulation skills and enhance it. Only then we can overcome that, as it is the psychological based issue. For meeting the success, you need to consider a few components. I can explain or give a one line statement for the components of their success. The first one is commitment. Commitment, you need to have a tagline as you will not stop until it is a done deal. Okay, if you are targeting on something, you should not stop until it is reached. That is the commitment. And the second thing is intention. The intention would be you need to remind yourself frequently of your big why. Why is this a task being done by you? What is the purpose behind that? What is the good intention behind that? So these are the whys. Upon your intention, you need to frequently remind yourself of your big whys. And the third one is attention. Your attention should be on everything around you that only supports you. Okay, so you are not going to deviate it or diverted to any other activity. So have your attention on everything around you that only supports you. Next thing is focus. You need to let nothing distract you. Okay, so that is the focus. Like when you are working, you need to get into the deep work mode so that nothing distracts you, either the social media or the people around you or any other past history, something like that. Okay, so the focus is let nothing distract you. The final thing is action. You need to remember, when you are putting something into action, the tagline is do it now. It is not going to be later. It is not going to be when you know more about that. It is not going to be when you are feeling ready to put into action, or when you think you can. So no such taglines to interfere your action. It's only do it now. And that would be about bridging the gap between intention and action. And the third thing is mindfulness. Mindfulness is a state of being aware around about the present moment of what is happening around you. And you need to accept that in order to improve yourself. Okay, so that might be any negative impact or the environmental changes of any kind. You need to be aware of that, accept it, and improve from that point. The fourth thing is you need to expand your self concept. The self concept is something like visualizing your own image, and you give your value to your image in a better way, so that you can expand your self concept and also your willpower, so that you can continue your task or achieve your goal. The final thing on building your success factor is you need to focus on more rewards that are towards your long term goals, because the brain acknowledges the immediate rewards and take that as a command, so that it tend to do that particular job. For instance, the example which we have seen earlier, eating right diet at the right time. Because of the feel good chemicals as a reward given to the brain, it induces to do that particular activity. And that is a short term reward. So, to work upon the long term goals, you need to definitely reward yourself. You need to focus on more rewards and give as a command to your brain so that it targets your long term goals and make you work based upon that. So, these would be the success factor that can be developed within us. So, ultimately, you need to remember you can't win if you don't play. So, remember this so that every time it gives you a self motivation. And we will see some best practices to unlock our potential. Best practices are simple, but it should be practiced on a routine based, or it should be practiced consistently so that you can get best out of it. Okay, so according to our topic on procrastination, we need to admit, emotionally we need to admit, or we need to have a behavior to admit procrastination first. And then the next important activity you can do is, whatever the task or the work you are doing, you need to assign values and consequences of your task so that you can measure the significance of it or the importance of it, and that helps in prioritizing your work. So always have a habit of assigning values and consequences for the tasks you do. Prioritize your work and do it consistently. And you can also review and reorder your tasks so that the goal is achieved. The third thing is, you need to cultivate a good view on whatever the task you are doing. That is, the good view is the purpose of that particular action. You have a good intention and work upon the purpose of that particular intention so that it increases your willpower and that motivates you to finish or achieve the goal. And the next one is, it should not be a day event, it should be an everyday event or everyday task. You need to show progress in your activities. And as discussed earlier, you need to be aware of the brain battles, that is the real battle which is happening within us, between the short term rewards and the long term goals, and between the intention and the action. So these are all psychology based perspectives, and you need to have control over that. The controlling will happen when you manage your emotions, when you regulate your emotions. So you need to consider your long term goals rather than the short term rewards, and you need to work for a purpose that satisfy the need or the intention. So following these strategies, you can just win over the battle. Okay, and followed by a few more practices. And this would be about eliminating distractions from your environment, that is going into the deep work and taking a break from it and continuing the work again. So while you are working, you should not be distracted, and you need to have a practice of not getting distracted, or practice of going into deep work when you work. All right, and the next one is, avoid a perfectionist mindset in anything and everything, because whenever you expect perfection in something, you still have an unsatisfied mind even after completing the job. So avoid being in that mode always. And visualize your future self is something related to the self concept or expanding it. Give values and more images of yourself so that you work upon it. Always set a concrete deadlines and reward yourself for your accomplishment, and that would induce your brain to perform the task which you reward yourself. And you need to reward yourself for the long term goals. Make your task small, divide it, and for every accomplishment you reward yourself so that you go better or you progress within yourself to meet the goal. And the last one is, or I can give an example for rewarding yourself to understand in a better way. If you do a 15 minutes morning walk, that would be that would give more reward than not walking, right? So you need to realize that a walk for 15 minutes daily in the morning will give you a reward that is definitely more than not walking. So that is one kind of rewarding yourself. Obviously, in a long term perspective, it is good for your health, right? So rather than sleeping during the morning hours for that particular 15 minutes of time, you can productively do that activity, and that boost up your long term goal of being healthy. So reward yourself in such a way and do that consistently, so that over a period your brain can take that as a command and work on it. You can do that unconsciously, right? The next example would be, every day after ending your work day, you can make a to do list of the next day task, and that is more reward than not making it. So that you can start your day with a plan, you can prioritize your work, and you will have an enjoyable work day. So this is going to be a reward, and that contributes more to your work in enjoying the work rather than being pressurized or feeling pressure in your work. And let's assume another example, like being in a deep work mode or focusing on what you do. That definitely gives you more productivity than distractions, than undergoing distraction. So you need to be aware, or you need to recognize the reward for yourself as the focused work would always gives you more reward than being distracted. So these ways, if you are giving rewards towards your long-term goal, the brain acknowledges that as a short-term reward and work for you, and finally you achieve the long-term goal. And start small. This is a simple yet very significant part of doing the job. If in case you are ignoring any task, you can follow this method. Start small. Start small is committing 2 minutes of your time to work perfectly, or to work in a committed way. And for example, if you want to do a task of website redesigning, okay, the task is, or the intention is to do a website redesigning, and you ignore that for days, or you are not interested in doing that, as we have seen from few reasons why we fail to launch. If you have um, if you don't have skill, or if you don't have interest of due to various reasons, you ignore a task of redesigning your website. So starting small will make you separate your task into smaller tasks, and you can work one by one. For example, you can just browse through the website competitors. That is one task, and you can commit 2 minutes of your time to do that, to get an idea. The second thing, a smaller task. Second thing that you can do as a smaller task is list the changes or the modifications that you need to have in your website. So that list, like a to-do list, that helps you in future while you are working on it. And you can contact your team, update them, or give instructions to them, and that would be another small task. So when you initiate it through a small task or start small method, apply 2 minutes of your committed work, and do your smaller task one by one. And I'm sure 90% of the people will definitely continue working for that particular task. They never stop after 2 minutes. So the thing is, you need to get committed in what you do. That makes a big difference. And finally, it's time to evaluate ourselves. We need to have an emotional regulation in order to overcome the procrastination. Okay, so the emotional regulations are all about recognizing the short term rewards, long term goals, what is our intention, what is the purpose, and what is the action to be done, what is the goal to be achieved. These all things will be your focus, but still, the enemy within us of procrastinating things just jump over to any other activity, and it differs from individual to individual. And finally, about 75% of the people procrastinate things, and they do the alternate works that is of no use or mere a time waster. So in this case, I can give you few set of questions where you can assess yourself and find out where you are and which gap to be identified and bridged. The first question is, are you clear for any instance, the tough handling situations, or going to miss a deadline of a project? You can compare to any situations that you have faced while you procrastinated. So the first question is, are you clear about your emotions you experience? So if your answer is yes, you are having an awareness of what you do. So you find the answer whether you have awareness about what you are doing or not. The second question is all about, are you aware of why you have felt that way? Okay. So when you are able to analyze this phase and give an answer for this, you are understanding what is happening within yourself. So the third is, do you accept your emotions? Whenever you have a mindset to accept what is the emotion within yourself during that point of time, you have an acceptance character. The fourth one is, can you cope up with your intense negative feelings? Okay. So if some problem is there and if you are not able to manage that one, definitely that should be some negative force, right? And those negative vibrations should be the copable ones for you. You need to manage that one. You need to have the ability to handle those negative feelings. If yes, you are a good handler of the tough situation and you are well managed to overcome that one. So analyze that part. And finally, do you have the influence over the negative feelings or negative situations around you? If your answer is yes, definitely you have the ability to modify the emotional experience. For instance, the negative feelings into a positive one, finding positiveness in some negative situations, and trying to continue the work or trying to continue the life, whatever it may be. You have problems in both professional or personal life, but all those problems are dealt with your emotions. So we need to have a regulation over that, and then life becomes smoother. So if you can influence your negative feelings, be optimistic, and definitely you will be an optimistic when you can influence your negative feelings. You can modify your emotional responses. So that is what needed when you procrastinate things. So there comes the emotional regulation, and you can develop this skill like other skills, and over a period you can master that. So evaluate yourself in any situation or task and identify the gap. So our call to action here is, as I said earlier, about 75% of people procrastinate things for an hour in a day. So here is your call to action. You can either admit your procrastination or deny yours, but the ultimate thing is you need to follow the 3-step method to unlock your true potential. And those 3 steps would be, if you want to fight against procrastination, use magical words like, I am not a procrastinator. So you are going to fight with procrastination using the words that motivates you as, I am not a procrastinator, live now, do now, and there is no tomorrow. So magical words like this will give you a self motivation so that you resist procrastination and you are ready to work, right? Or ready to even complete the task and achieve the goal. So the second step you need to follow here is, as discussed earlier, whenever you procrastinate, you do the other alternate works without doing the required one, right? So whenever you do the other works, give values to those works, give consequences or assess consequences for those tasks, and also the rewards. So when you analyze the values, consequences, and the rewards for the alternate works you do, definitely you can find the significance of doing things. And you will definitely end up in choosing the right work at the right time. So this is the second method. And if in case you know to do any job, though you have self motivation, self control, doing right job at the right time, apply this 2 minutes rule and act consistently to further forward your work so that the goal is achieved. And if in case you want to stop procrastination, take one thing that you often procrastinate and analyze that. And this is an activity you can work on it so that you can understand where you lag, what is the gap, and which emotion you need to get regulated to achieve the goal. So, I procrastinate. Take one thing that you procrastinate and find out the reasons. Reasons might be of when you procrastinate, how you procrastinate, and why you procrastinate. Answer these questions. For example, I can give a one line explanation for each and everything. When you procrastinate, finding the reasons when you procrastinate. So, the basic reasons that stops you to launch, as we have seen in the first slide, why we fail to launch, either of those reasons will be matching here. So you need to identify when you actually procrastinate things, what makes you stop in doing activities. And if you find those answers, you can know when you actually procrastinate. The second thing is how you procrastinate. Instead of doing that particular task or required task, what you do as an alternate work. Either you move on to social media or watch a movie or pitch into a party, something like that, right? So find out how you procrastinate instead of doing the required task. So the third thing is why you procrastinate. Identify the personality type while you procrastinate. As I mentioned earlier, it is not necessarily you fall into same category always, and it is not necessary you need to have only one personality type. So you need to identify the personality type while you procrastinate for a particular task. And answering these three reasons, how, when, and why, you can finally get into a conclusion of the reasons. Then you need to evaluate your reasons. Evaluation is basically to find the gaps. You identify the gaps where you lag or which makes you stop or which makes you procrastinate. And once you evaluate the reasons, you can definitely bridge the gap, upskilling yourself or making your regulations, emotional regulations in a better way so that your gap is filled between your intention and action. So the ultimate goal is to bridge the gap between intention and action. Once this is done, mark my words, when you track this progress, you will find wonders of your potential. So this is all about our session today. Any questions?
If you find the content on this channel helpful, consider subscribing and leave a like for this video. Thank you.